Good morning. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us for another edition of the Morning Breeze, man. Always rocking with you guys, as always, man. Outside of me, I got my guy, Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC, in the building.
That's right. We're back and better than ever. Breezy. I don't like that one. I'll allow it. As long as you stop salsa, and everyone's asking for it. Breeze Nation, what is good? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Mr. Meeting, Jordan JC in the building. A lot to get into on today's episode. Ben Johnson's comments at the podium. Very sharp and pointed. And not hard to interpret almost at all. When he talks about competition, when he talks about practice, there's some names that are mainstays on this team that may not be a part of the future of this team. A big one, I mean, we got to talk about the DJ Moore of it all. And then the Bears got to be signing a Jaylen Johnson replacement. Ladies and gentlemen, it is 9/17/2025, 7:03 in the morning. And Jordan JC, I'm sick of this. I just can't have nice things. Can't have a football team that's going to go out there and dominate, compete, slap some people in the face. I want to slap people in the face. I want a football team that is the equivalent of the New York Giants left tackle with just that foul move that he just was doing the defensive end last Sunday, just smacking him up. I ain't got to block you if I just smack you upside your head and knock you over. That's what I want the Bears to be. I don't think he understands how great of a meme he's going to be for the rest of his days.
That's hilarious.
Breeze Nation, what is good? It's your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do.
Come on. Push the button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push your button.
You heard what she said.
Y'all heard what Sue Young said. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man. Make sure you're hitting that hype button as well. Shout out to all of you guys who are newly tapped into the show. We got a lot of new subscribers and listeners that are tapping in every single day. Make sure that you guys are also hitting that notification bell so you get notified every single time we go live. We do the Morning Breeze Monday through Friday, 7 in the morning, sometimes a little later than 7 if some of us are napping on our resident commode, if you will. Wake up, Jordan. Also, always having content come out. Maybe keep doing the Monday night and Thursday night footballs on here as well. We were doing those on the national channel, but the double stream, we did like 10,000 views on that mug.
Hey,
Muzz was tapped. Muzz was tapped, baby. Muzz was tapped. Let's start it off here, Jordan JC.
All right.
As there was a lot of talk around Ben Johnson and his comments that he had in his presser to the team. Essentially saying, after watching the tape, that he felt like there was a lot of, what's the right way to say it? Essentially, he was calling it a lack of effort when the ball is not in your hand. He said, we really watch how players are and their attitude and demeanor when they don't have the football in their hand. And we're going to create a lot of competition this week in practice to see who really wants to be a part of this process and who's going to get essentially pushed to the wayside here. Jordan JC, this is interesting because when you watch the tape, when you look at a lot of the guys that, and listen, I felt like he was more so calling out skill players in this, in a sense. And I've got a couple of guys that I look at as, some prime candidates for this. But your thoughts on the fact that 2 weeks in, Ben Johnson is already basically saying, listen, doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter where you come from, doesn't matter how much you make, you can be replaced. That's how it came off to me. I don't know how it was when you heard that.
No, I love it. And I've said this before, and I think it's even a stronger statement now because you're starting 0-2, and I'm sure Ben Johnson and everyone included in that organization didn't want it to look like this. And so there has to be some sort of shakeup. And I've said it before. I said the last time we talked on the Morning Breeze yesterday that he has to back up his words. And I feel like Ben Johnson is going to do that. If he says there's going to be a shakeup, then he has to follow through with that. You can't just sit there and say, oh, we got to practice harder and people are going to be held accountable, and that it doesn't matter what, the name on the back of your jersey or how much money you're making, you can be replaced. If you're not giving 100%, whether it's in practice or on the field, when it comes to game time, you're going to be replaced because there are other people who are waiting. And as I said yesterday, chomping at the bit for a chance to start. Whether it be the rookies, whether it be your second stringers, whatever case it may be, nobody's safe. And I love that approach because when you're losing, there needs to be a shakeup. When you lose by 31, you need to go back to the drawing board immediately. And so at least I love the fact that he's doing that and he's holding certain people accountable. And yes, I think it is the skill position players. I think that there are some names that come to mind for me as well that I'm pretty sure we can get into. But overall, I love the message, and I think he's going to back it up. I don't think it's just, like I said, just cliche, coach talk. I think that, there are some starters that need to be on high alert.
Here's one I talked about yesterday on the Chicago Bears podcast that I think is, I'm going to be honest with you. I think this is the one that is the most concerning. And I think what we do in the media a lot of times, and again, like I'm not a reporter, so I'm not reporting this. I'm not saying that this is, this is not insider information. Oh, Pat's in the locker room, so he gets to see. No, this is not none of that. I'm in the locker room. Y'all don't believe half the stuff I tell you that's happening in the locker room anyway. I say DJ Moore's face look like that every day. Everybody be like, he's the worst. I'm like, okay, all right. Why won't he smile? He just, it's his face. You know what I mean? Also, who's smiling when you're getting beat 51 or 52 to 21.
Although they did catch a glimpse of Caleb smiling.
It wasn't Caleb's smile. There was a little bit of that smile felt a little bit like, you want to go play some football? Felt a little Waldron-y, bro. I'm not going to lie to you. I was kind of pissed. But no, I think that there's one name that we all assumed, right, Nazi Trapillo, that he was going to come in and he was going to be a left tackle. Hey, you got everything else set. Ozzy's your left tackle because you got to replace Braxton Jones. This guy sucks.
Yeah.
What if that was never the case? What if the situation truly was, as Ben Johnson and Dan Rashar and Dennis Allen are sitting here looking over the lineup, Al Harris, Antoine Randall, that some of these names were absolutely brought in here to replace top candidates at a position? I know the skill positions were the ones that were being asked about, but I feel like this transcends to everybody on the field. What if it truly was a situation where you drafted Ozzy Trapillo to be your right tackle of the future? Because you looked at Darnell Wright and you kind of were like, yo, this dude has all the talent in the world, but he's not focused and he's not disciplined. And we can't trust that coming into the season. And I say that because that to me is the one position where it feels like outside of quarterback where you would go, well, you got to play that out. He's a top 10 pick. You got to let him have every opportunity to go out there and be successful. He's a top 10 pick. No, I don't. He ain't my top 10 pick. My top 10 pick's a tight end who, and by the way, the quote that Ben Johnson said comes off of a question about Luther Burden and Colston Loveland. My top 10 pick ain't playing hard enough or doing enough to get on the field right now. You think I give a rat's you know what about somebody who's a top 10 pick before
when I wasn't
got here?
Yeah.
And so I truly wonder if if you drafted Ozzie Trapillo, not to be your left tackle of the future, but to be your right tackle of the future. Which, yes, another indictment on Ryan Poles for another miss possibly. But I would also say a true sign, if we did see something like that Ben Johnson isn't going to stand for some of the things that we've seen out of Darnell Wright through 2 weeks. PFF numbers aside, y'all throw PFF numbers at me like Braxton Jones wasn't heralded as a god in PFF and he can't play football.
Yeah.
Hey, big shock. He's still getting pushed back into the quarterback. Mm-hmm. You got to use the eye test as well. Darnell Wright's PFF numbers week 1 were fine. They were a little worse in week 2. I'm watching Darnell Wright get thrown around by guys that are smaller than him that he shouldn't be getting thrown around by. That's a problem. Oh, he doesn't have a pressure on him. Yeah, well, if I toss you aside, it makes it a little harder to play football. So I truly, that was the guy that for me, my eyebrows went up for when I heard this statement.
No, Darnell Wright is a name. And, I've harped on him and Jonah Jackson a while. I jokingly say the twins. But, I mean, in a sense, I mean that to an extent of they've been doing the same thing over and over. Pre-snap penalties have been a problem. You're starting at 1st and 15 and 2nd and 20 and 3rd and 19 on multiple drives throughout the first 2 weeks. And it hasn't looked good. The consistency is not there. And that was one thing I thought I would never have an issue with seeing discipline kind of be kind of inconsistent with Darnell Wright when we got him. He looked as if, the arrow was pointing up. Now we're in year 3 and it's like, okay, are you going to kind of stabilize yourself as that piece that doesn't need to be worried about on the offensive line? We don't need to have a worry at right tackle, but apparently we do. And like you mentioned, you got Ozzie right there, where we thought, okay, the competition is between him, Karan, and Braxton on the left, but we know his natural position was at right. And so could there be a switch? I wouldn't mind that. You have to get these guys on high alert. You can't just let them sit there and say, oh, well, we'll have a whole year or whatever to kind of work through these issues. I'm Darnell Wright. I won't have an issue with being replaced. Yeah, you probably will if you keep playing the way you are. And we'll see what practices look like throughout this week. But one of my names is on the other side. I just mentioned it, Braxton Jones. This past week, he allowed I should say in 2 games, he allowed 13 pressures. You talked about him getting pushed back. We already know that has been his problem. The bull rush is enemy number 1 for Braxton Jones, and that hasn't changed. And so, what do you do there? And then at the end of the game, I don't know if this is any indication if they're maybe thinking about it, but the Eagle man was back in there, Theo Benedict. I know that there were a couple guys that weren't starting during the beginning of the game. I know there were some rookies that were used at the end once it was a blowout.
Yeah,
but there were still some starters out there. So are you saying that maybe Theo Benedict will get a real chance to maybe kind of move Braxton out the way? That's a possibility. We'll see again what practice looks like. And so for me, that's the main guy that I'm looking at right now as possibly on the fence to get replaced, because he's been what he's been for a while. PFF aside, whoever his cousin or brother is that's manipulating those numbers, like
Jackson Jones up there at PFF. It's just him. We know he went to like an Ivy League school. It's just Braxton. He's just at home on his laptop. He's hacked in. He's like, 95 pass block grade. There we go. Can't stop me.
He's not giving himself too crazy of a grade, otherwise we won't believe it. But he's like, oh, let me put a little.
Yeah. 82 pass block grade, 79 run block grade. That's passing, baby.
I'm concerned that we've seen the best of Braxton already, and I've said that for a while. We've kind of seen maybe his ceiling for quite some time now, and so perhaps you put somebody in there that has an even higher ceiling. So that's the way I'm going with them.
We'll see what ends up happening. I think some of the skill position players could also be a candidate for this as well. By the way, over 100 in the chat. Over 200 in that chat. 200.
200, baby.
Good morning. Good morning. It's so creepy. It's the lip bite. None of it's good. None of it is. I love how Drew was talking about it too. He was like, it's all shoulders with him. Like none of it is supposed to be from the waist. It's supposed to be.
Yeah. Trying to get some. Hype me up, baby. Hype me up.
Oh, that just sounds bad. That just sounds bad. Lynn Diesel in the building with the super chat. Shout out Lynn Diesel. Said, morning, guys. I can see Ozzie taking the spot either trading Wright or letting him walk and drafting another left tackle. On another note, if we start on 3 this season, is the season lost? Bear down, fellas. Season not lost. I think I said it yesterday on here. You're not making the playoffs. You started 0-2 in the division. No Bears team has ever started 0-2 in the division and made the playoffs. If we find a way to make the playoffs, Ben Johnson's a guy. Crown him.
We figured something out.
I mean, dog, you won every other division game. You went 4-2 in the division. Right, you swept the Packers, who right now look like the class of the division, and you split with Minnesota and Green Bay.
You won against the other two you lost.
All right, with Minnesota and Detroit. Like, you went on a run. Like, maybe we do. I would love it.
That would be amazing.
I'd be tingly. Yeah, they'd call me Pat the Diabetic after that one. Because, these fingertips would be tingling. But take the foot. Take the foot.
Oh, God.
But I mean, like, it's, I think right now you have to look at, this team in the light of, there was a lot of people that we watched quit last year.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Johnson's got to navigate through that. We come into the season and we think the best of everybody that's in the building, and we say, you know what I mean? Like, we love that, the best version of DJ, the best version of Jaylen, the best, and I'm not calling any of these guys out for the lollygagging or any of that, but I'm just saying, like, for every player on this team, we think of them in, hey, this is the best version of what we've seen this player be. That's the version that we should get with a new coach that you wanted in the building. Sometimes that don't happen. And when you give up once, it's a lot easier to give up again. I'm not saying that the Bears are at that point, but I think Ben Johnson sees some of those traits. And when you see some of those traits, you start to call those traits out. And there's a lot. And I think Ben Johnson's just going to have a shorter trigger with pulling the plug on some of these guys. Because you have guys in place that you drafted this year that you want to get on the field. But again, Luther Burden, Colston Loveland, sounded like Ben was possibly calling those two out as well.
Mm-hmm.
Sounded like Ben was possibly saying, hey, look, you're not performing well enough to get the lion's share of the snap count right now. You got to step your game up. You got to figure your game out. I got Cole Kmet. I can put him on the field. I've got DJ Moore. I've got Olamide Zaccheaus. They can get on the field. I don't need to play you. You got to want to be here. So I think that's really what we're getting out of Ben Johnson here, which is, listen, I love it. This is what we asked for. This is the mindset that you have to have in place for you to go out there and win football game.
I feel like Ben Johnson is kind of like that disciplinarian where there's levels to it. It's like if you're dealing with a student, or even in a family setting, if you're dealing with a child or a kid that understands when they're told something the first time, and then they get in line. It's like, okay, I need you to do this. I need you to do X, Y, and Z. And they immediately snap into action. And they're like, okay, I get it. Like, you ain't got to tell me more than once. I'm going to get better. I'm going to improve, whatever that is, whether it's the grades, my chores, whatever you want me to do, listening to mom, whatever. But then there's also the child sometimes where you got to repeat yourself. And so maybe the verbal isn't always the end all or the be all. Now it's a matter of taking action. Okay, I'm going to take your PlayStation away. I'm going to take this away from you. I'm going to
No, God, no.
I'll take your phone. So in connecting that to the football field, there are your players who get the message right away and say, you know what, it's time for me to step up my game up, because Ben is not about games. If this culture is truly going to shift to a better organization, a better product on the field, I gotta give 100% on and off of it. Then there are the players that are like, yeah, we've heard this before, this rah-rah speech, okay, I'm gonna still do me. Oh no, okay, Ben Johnson's reiterating this. Oh, maybe this is different. Oh
Yeah.
crap. Okay, I really do gotta get myself right.
And
Otherwise,
sometimes you
I'm gonna
gotta
be
hit
replaced.
Muzz with that. Like, I think that's a real situation here where it's like, oh, they think I'm joking. All right, you go sit yourself down.
Yep.
You don't play here no more. Oh, he ain't joking. Oh, he for real. We might get cut.
Mhm.
Like that. Sometimes you gotta let Muzz know you're not playing too. And I think that's kind of what we're starting off with here. And it's 0-2. He's not doing it at 0-7. He's not reassessing at 0-10. It's 0-2 in a new offense and a new system that he feels they should know. When you heard him talking about Dennis Allen the other day, he didn't say, I brought in Dennis Allen, and he's got to make these players work. He said, I brought in Dennis Allen. Essentially, how I took it was, I got Dennis Allen. I know he know what he's doing. So what are you doing? It's like that part to me is very telling. Real quick, I got to go check on the boy, make sure he ain't like rolled out the bed or something. He slept in our bed last night. I got no sleep. I got to go check on him real quick. But I'm going to leave you with this question. I'm going to let you entertain the chat real quick. Skill position wise, who's a name that you feel Ben Johnson could have been talking to, and is it DJ Moore?
Uh-oh. All right. Well, you guys got me for the next maybe 2 or 3 minutes. What's going on, chat? How's everybody doing? But I mean, skill position wise, there's a lot of names that I personally think are really going to be in the limelight. And could DJ Moore be one of them? I've talked about it in the last morning chat yesterday, where I think that DJ Moore is not really getting a lot of targets. And it could be, I could, and this is just me spitballing, it could be because Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze are really kind of making their relationship grow. They have a budding relationship. You come in the same draft. You kind of building your relationship together on the field and off the field. And so it could be just that. But then there are other times where I'm like, okay, well, what's DJ Moore's body language like when it comes to the times where he knows he's not getting that target? Just as Ben Johnson, as we mentioned, is saying, what are you doing when it comes to you not being in the spotlight? Are you doing the little things like running your routes 100% out? Are you actually blocking as well as you should be, so that you can be a part or more pivotal part of the offense? And so that's where I put more of the target on DJ Moore. You signed him to be your number one receiver. We know that he has all the talent in the world to be the number one receiver, but could there be an underlying issue? And that's one of the things that we're going to see moving forward. That's one of the things that you're going to see in practice. Now, I don't believe that DJ Moore altogether is going to get replaced and benched where he's not going to be in the game plan completely. But as you see, Rome Odunze might get the lion's share of the targets.
Yeah.
Then you might start implementing Cole Kmet Moore. You might start implementing Olamide Zaccheaus, who that Caleb Williams has a good rapport with. And so could there be an underlying issue with DJ? Maybe. I won't say officially yes, but there could be something there where Ben Johnson's like, you got to step your game up.
Yeah, listen, I think the issue that, and I'm not going to even say it's been on every play, but the only thing that I've kind of seen where I would say maybe DJ Moore and Ben Johnson aren't on the same page as of yet. And I think there's a lot that goes into every play, and we zero in on one player on every play. I can't say that the run blocking has been elite, and I know that's what Ben Johnson wants. I can't say that DJ's run blocking has been elite, and I know that's what Ben Johnson wants. But people act like DJ Moore is like not involved in the game plan, or that he's just, he's loafing out there. And I just don't see that. Yes, is DJ Moore on the sideline sitting there cheesing ear to ear? No, nobody is. You got beat 52-21. And you didn't get beat 52-21 because of DJ Moore. It'd be 52-21 because you couldn't get an offense that could continue to go down the field because you kept putting yourself behind the 8 ball with penalties.
Mm-hmm.
And you had a defense that basically died the second that Jaylen Johnson left. Oh, the train's there, is it?
My goodness. I was hoping you didn't hear it. Jesus.
Oh, we always hear that train. Where the birds at, man?
Hey, don't worry about the birds.
We can hear the train, but where the birds at?
They've signed a silent clause contract.
Is that what's happening?
Disturb me in the morning. They're still alive.
I don't know if they are.
They're still alive.
It was on hard times. He ate us.
Oh, they're still in your stomach.
Let us out.
Why would I eat them if they still be alive? What kind of bird food?
Yeah, you swallowed them whole. You swallowed them whole.
No birds were harmed in the making of this.
Yeah, I feel like they were. I feel like they were.
No.
By the way, over 300.
There we go.
300.
Yeah.
357 in the building, 52 likes on the video, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Let's get it up over 100 likes. Yeah, like to me, like I think this is what's happening. We saw DJ Moore the 1 year where he was being focused on by Justin Fields, and he was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. Had his best year.
And after that, the quarterback change came in. They brought in a bunch of new receivers. There was all this, all these other dynamics that played into this. And now you've got new. You've got a Luther Burden. Last year, you had a Keenan Allen. You had a Roma Dunze. And when new comes in, I feel like the mindset of the fan a lot of times is, we don't need that guy anymore. I got Roma Dunze. Why is DJ Moore here? I've got Luther Burden. Why is DJ Moore here? And DJ Moore is just kind of the longest tenure guy here. So like he kind of, as the new pieces come in, it's like, okay, we don't need you no more. I feel like that's what's happening more times than not. And so DJ is under this microscope of, and yes, he is paid, but if I'm not throwing the football to him, I mean, when he did get the football throw, what did he get? 7 targets? He caught 6?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're sitting here acting like, they're throwing the football to DJ Moore, 7 times and he caught 2 of them. And so for me, I truly think that there's just a mindset that I guess I can kind of say is natural, but it is weird to me that I'm not even just going to say Bears fans. I think fans have, right? You draft a new point guard in the NBA and the old point guard is just okay. You say, I want to see what the new guy can do because I know what he is.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's more of the situation that we're dealing with here than DJ Moore. Because when you watch the tape, DJ Moore's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, he's okay.
He's I would say he's on par with where the team is at right now.
I think there's a recency bias, and I think that sometimes is the name of the game in sports, with everything being so, what have you done for me lately, and moving on quickly. If you didn't get this, if this person doesn't pan out, and now we're trying to move on and replace this person, with everything happening, and it's like patience isn't a virtue anymore. It's almost as if like, okay, well, now you got Rome, now you got Olamide. Those guys are seemingly a little bit more in tune with Caleb. And then you got Luther Burden kind of on the outskirts that has the talent, and he could be coming, as well. And so DJ is kind of like the old guy of the group, but he still should be the best guy. But they don't care about that. At the end of the day, it's kind of like, oh, okay, well, Caleb has got the chemistry with these 2 people or these 3 guys. And at the end of the day, maybe we could save some money and just kind of, move forward without DJ. Maybe that's the issue. And we're not seeing it because at this point in time, DJ should be getting about 10, 11 receptions. I've never understood why a top receiver on the team, who even before all these guys came to the team, wasn't really averaging that many receptions. Outside of the Justin Fields year, obviously his best year. And so it seems like it's always been a difficult task to really like get DJ going. I don't know if it's maybe just his archetype as a receiver, like he's not the Rome Odunze, the tall, lanky, go up and get it type. He's the yards after catch type of number one receiver. He, in the mode of maybe a Jamar Chase, your stocky, possession receivers, but something's just not connecting. And I do believe that could be or create an issue moving forward this
now
season.
That could be true. I think we do see that, right? DJ Moore runs a route that's kind of, he sees that he can beat somebody. He runs his own route. He puts his hand up. Caleb Williams can't get to him. I do think we see that.
Yeah.
Where it is, the connection's not there. And that may be the case. Maybe there isn't a connection. Maybe that's a reason you move on. But I hate the narrative of like DJ's not working hard. It's just not true. DJ Moore is out there working hard. DJ Moore is out there. DJ Moore last season got 140 targets and had 98 receptions for 966 yards.
Yeah.
This year, he's got 11 targets. He's got 8 receptions. His catch percentage is already better. By the way, his receiving percentage last year, 9.9 yards per reception. This year, already back to second highest of his career with 14.3 receptions. It's 2 games in, and he's got caught 70% of his targets that have been thrown his way.
Yeah, just about. Yep.
Like that, I think that Domino is at 2, 8, 4, 11, is at 63%. 63% of his targets that have been thrown his way. Last season, he was down to like 47%. He's already at the highest catch percentage. Now, it's early in the season. There's a lot more to go. But I think that people look at DJ Moore as not the only option when in his biggest season with Justin Fields, he truly was the only option. He's the only one that Justin Fields was going to.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're still waiting for that to come back. But there's more people on the offense now.
Yeah.
There's more names that have to be thrown to football. But if we want to say that there isn't a relationship built there yet, I'm fine with that. You know what I mean? You can't say that, to me, you can't say that they're on the same page and we continue to hear, this year we've heard this. That wasn't a route that Caleb was prepared to throw. DJ saw something and Caleb tried to accommodate. Like, that tells you that the relationship is not perfect. There's a reason where I can say, listen, like maybe it's not working there. Maybe it's something that's not, gelling as quickly as you thought. And Ben Johnson wants to move on from that. But the people that are like, DJ's out there loafing, he's not working hard, he's not moving, he's not, like, I don't see that at all. Mm-hmm. I don't see that at all. I like how Ebony Sales said that. Say he looked like a safety blanket. I love this comment from Dwan Threats. Super chat. Shout out for the super chat. Said, are we treating DJ Moore like he's Zach LaVine? Now, that's interesting. That's interesting.
In what way? Like,
people were ready to move on from Zach LaVine pretty much, 2-3 years in. And you could clearly see Zach LaVine wasn't the issue. You could see that it was everything around him, that it was Jim Boylan. But it was like, but Zach is not a player that goes out there and wins. It was like, well, let's get those players too. And then when you went out and you got, and I didn't last, but when you got Alonzo, when you got a DeMar DeRozan, when you got like all these pieces that it was like, okay, this fits and it fits Zach's game, Zach looked at his best. Alonzo went down. It was kind of over. I could see that. I could see that.
What I was thinking, Dewan might have, or at least this is where my mind went to when he brought up Zach LaVine, is you just mentioned when DeMar got on the team, there was an issue of who was going to take the last shot.
Who was the
gonna
number
be the
one?
Yeah, who is the number one? And are they going to be vying for the crunch time, the clutch moments, and does Zach LaVine sometimes even take a back seat to Vooch in minutes, or even Kobe White, taking shots in the fourth quarter in those clutch moments? Those were the conversations where now you got more offensive firepower, and it's like now we kind of putting you like in a how could I put this? We're putting you in a pecking order, and you're not necessarily considered the number one guy automatically, because you have other guys that can do what you do and are more experienced. Like DeMar came in and he did a lot that first year.
Yeah.
Put up a lot of fourth quarter buzzer beaters, game winners, put the Bulls in a position to win. And so DJ Moore, we obviously know you're talented, but we have other guys that are just as good, if not better, in certain circumstances now that are on the team. So could you kind of be quote unquote an afterthought, or just somebody who's kind of in the mix?
Listen, it's football. That's football. Sometimes good players get moved on from because you didn't fit what the future was.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I've been telling Muzz this entire time, and Muzz look at me like I'm crazy. Your favorite Chicago Bear is probably getting moved on from. Whoever on this team right now that you love, if you're you big Brisker fan, you a big Darnell Wright fan, you a big Swiftie fan, you a big Braxton Jones fan, I know y'all are out there because you're in my comments every day.
We got the Braxton bunch somewhere.
Oh, the Braxton bunch is loud, dog. Let me tell you right now, they are praising those PFF numbers. He just got tackled with the quarterback. No, it's not him. It's not his fault that he got tackled with the quarterback. What the But like your favorite, whoever it is, TJ Edwards, Jermaine Edmonds.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what you think, that guy's probably a candidate to get moved on from. If his name ain't Caleb Williams or Rome Odunze, and probably most of the mugs in this year's draft class.
Right. Ben's guys, yeah.
That's the NFL. God dang, that train's back. It sounds like an airplane landing in the background.
Yeah, you know what? I should have closed my window. That would have done the trick.
Yeah, windows up. Now you got to air that thing out, man. Hey, yo. Hey, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in to Show Love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Before we get into the next topic, I do want to say this because I do want to finish it out talking about the possibility of signing a JJ replacement. It's not great names out there, but you don't have anything right now.
Nope.
But before we get to that, I got to give credit to somebody because I know people are looking at this, and I will say this: the running back numbers are tough. When you look at the EPA per play, I mean, DeAndre Swift is getting a league-leading 1.89 yards before contact right now, and the running game has looked mediocre at best.
Mm-hmm. I would say that, yep.
But with all that being said, DeAndre Swift has been out there absolutely getting involved in the pass blocking game. Well, DeAndre Swift has been pass blocking and picking up phenomenal in blitz pickup. Like rewatching some of the tape, I was like, give Swifty his love on the blitz pickup. The run game ain't great. You need to find somebody that can run the football. I think he's getting better at that. It's also very difficult to say, like, run the football in a game where, you're down 28 to 14 going into the half. But I gotta give him credit on the pass blocking game. He been balling out there a little bit. I give Swifty his love when he deserved it. I still wouldn't have paid him $8 million.
Look at this. He's always a shot there.
I still wouldn't have. Oh no, I've always said definitely wouldn't have paid him that.
Where's he at? Is he at $4 million now? 5?
4.
3? Huh? I see. I was trying to start.
What'd I say? 2.5? Like,
look at you.
Let's keep it a Billy Buck Bean. There's 7 running backs in this draft I would have taken.
Oh boy.
Hey man, appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Let's finish it out with this Jordan JC as the Chicago Bears have an issue here with Jaylen Johnson, where it seems like he is heading towards season-ending injury territory.
Yeah.
Where he is going to be put on IR, I would assume, and is going to have some sort of surgery. We're still waiting on that. It seems like surgery may be the best option with this. They didn't opt to do surgery initially.
Yeah.
And, now we see some of the struggles that Jaylen Johnson has had. And now the question is, if you're Ryan Poles, if you're the Chicago Bears, do you go out there and try and sign somebody to be added to this team? Or is your best bet this season to try and build up the guys that you have in the building, keep working with Tyreek Stevenson, who, by the way, quarterbacks throwing at Tyreek Stevenson right now have a 158.3 passer grade. That is literally a perfect passer rating.
You all think I'm just
quarterbacks versus Tyreek Stevenson.
Telling you, man.
Literally a perfect.
I've been saying it, ain't I been saying it?
Pretty funny, actually. Would you rather see the Bears go out there and try and sign somebody, Jordan JC, or keep building with what you have? Some of the names that you have available, I mean, it's real slim pickings right now, if we're being 100% honest. Looking at, your best bet, possibly, and he's coming off an injury, is, I would say, Asante Samuel Jr., and he's coming off like a major neck injury. But he's 25 years old. He's only been in the league 4 years. He's still on the market. I believe he's supposed to be getting reevaluated on that injury sometime in October, maybe just getting him on the squad to kind of have him there. If you want to go with an elder player, you got a James Bradbury. You got a Kendall Fuller. You've got a Stephon Gilmore out there.
Some names.
You got a Michael Davis. You got Emmanuel Mosley. Like, it's a Jordan Poyer, if you will. It's not great. But Jesus Christ, blazing the Nuggets. That was nuts.
What in the world, Blaze?
What move would you look to make here if you're the Bears?
Look, you already know how I feel about Tyreek Stevenson and this crop of trying to be nice, but I want to say it.
158.3 is crazy.
This crop of crap that we have right now.
158.3 is insane, bro. Every quarterback that sees you just goes, "Oh, touchdown!"
Oh yeah, he's open. Nobody's on him. Might as well start.
Tyreek Stevenson is the Rock. He's not the Rock. He's John Cena.
Might as well start doing pom poms with the crowd again. Don't even guard anybody. But anyway, no. There's a saying that leave no stone unturned, and I think this is the point that we're at this juncture is. No, I don't want to see them just figure it out with the pieces that we have here. We saw what that looked like once Jaylen Johnson went back down. It was bad. I mean, I'm not saying that if Jaylen still played the entire game that we wouldn't have still gotten blown out. Maybe the game would have gotten closer or what would have been a little bit closer. But, I mean, your best cornerback, in my opinion, on the field right now is Nahshon Wright.
Yeah.
Out of the two, in my opinion. I feel like he can do a little bit better as far as coverage down the field. And has better foot speed than Tyreek. But if you're talking about those two guys, as you mentioned, they're considered the cornerback twos of a team. There is no cornerback one playing right now. Then of course you got the Nick McLeods, as well. You got Josh Blackwell, and so yeah, you would probably have to go that route where you want to try out an Asante Samuel. Do you like the old names that used to be the stars of the league? You want Stephon Gilmore? You want to see what kind of mileage he has on his left on his legs? Fine. I'll take Stephon Gilmore. I feel like maybe at the very least he can do the little things right. James Bradbury used to be a beast. Sure, I'll take a flyer on those guys. All I need Ryan Poles to do at this point is, again, leave no stone unturned. Look out for any and every opportunity to bolster this what was once a strength is now a weakness. Don't just go out there and say, all right, we'll just kind of leave caution to the wind. We're already 0-2. Because to me, what that says, if you don't make any moves or you don't try to make any changes, is that you're okay with this mediocrity. You're okay with just strolling this out against Dallas, knowing that you're going up against CD and George and whoever else coming down the line, and you're saying we'll just have to deal with it. No. Then I'm really going to put a spotlight on Ryan. So do what you got to do. Try to at least get some of these guys in for a tryout and see what happens.
I'll be honest with you. I think the biggest thing for me, like, sure, bring somebody in, like, whatever. I don't care. You can't get pressure on a quarterback. As bad as Tyreek is, you're asking them to do a lot. Especially when you can't get pressure on a quarterback. That's my issue.
Man,
I've seen a lot of mediocre DBs look better.
Yeah.
When the quarterback's under duress. And I think for me, like, going out and signing another DB, sure, I think you need to do it maybe because of a body. I don't think you need to do it because you're going out there looking for the answer. To me, you're in this situation because you thought that, you know, and we'll see, maybe it is. Listen, he's one game in, he's one game out, and you know, one game was good, one game was bad. You thought that Dio Dangbo was going to set the world on fire with how you paid him. Now, whether you actually thought that or not, but how you paid him says you thought that he was going to set the world on fire. You have $36 million in your defensive ends.
You paid him off potential.
You have $36 million in your defensive ends, and they can't get home.
Nope.
Your pass rushers up the middle who were going up against rookies couldn't get pressure in the face of Jared Goff.
They're not moving anybody. Yeah. Yeah.
Your defensive line right now cannot create pressure, and you couldn't create pressure even when you were blitzing. That's always going to be the biggest issue. So sure, go out. You want to sign Asante Samuel Jr., I'm down for it. You want to sign friggin' Jordan Poyer. Jordan Poyer is a free safety. You want to sign a Corey Ballantyne. You want to sign a Michael Davis, a Stephon Gilmore. Sure, do it. Like, it's a body. But that body's not going to be able to do anything if you're not pressuring the quarterback. And that is the biggest issue that the Chicago Bears continue to have year in and year out. And meanwhile, I look over at Philly, and Philly's like, we got some issues over here, even though we just won the Super Bowl. Hey, we're going to go sign Zadarius Smith.
Already had an impact. Could have got him.
You're begging for somebody to get near the quarterback who's good at it. And so, like, to me, it's I never look at. I think the fact that you built the team this way is why you're in this position. When you come into the season and you say the backbone of this team is the DBs, and you're just hoping that you can get pressure, like, the backbone of this team doesn't matter if you can't pressure the quarterback. Like I said, the backbone of this team is the wide receivers, but you don't have a quarterback or an offensive line to protect the quarterback. That's truly what you got going on right now. And now the backbone of your team is broken.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, it doesn't change anything. If you want to fix this DB unit, you get pressure on the quarterback. That's the biggest thing.
I agree. So as many you're right. As many names as we just dropped, does it even all matter if, again, you don't have your guys that you paid a lot of money? And that's why I put a lot of spotlight on Montez Sweat.
Yep.
Whatever he's been doing the last year and a half is just not it. It's not working. And I'm not going to use the excuse of, last year, the injuries. This year, I don't want to use the excuse of, well, maybe he's being double teamed or triple teamed. No.
Oh, by the way, he's not. He's 99th in the NFL as far as players that are double teamed out of 130th. He's not being double teamed that much.
He's not being double teamed.
I believe he's being double teamed on 19% of his snaps.
There it is. So there's the stats right there for you. You're not being you're not getting to the quarterback. You're not winning your one-on-one matchups. You know, whatever is going on, your pass rush moves, whatever is in your repertoire is not working. It's not effective. And you know, again, there's no excuse of you know, you being a spotlight. People aren't game planning for Montez Sweat like they probably could or should be. You know, so or like you're being paid to be an issue. And so for me, yes, it does start up front. And that's why, again, we look at Ryan Poles and say, well, what are you doing? You kind of had your hands tied when we were talking about all of those names during the summer. Trey Hendrickson.
Well, I was going to say you could have gone out there and got Preston Smith, but looks like he's signing with Washington.
Literally, Preston Smith is signing with Washington.
He's signing right now with Washington.
That's insane. So it's like, what name?
I mean, I didn't want Preston Smith, but like you could have.
I'll take Preston Smith. I'll take whatever. You know, he was decent with Green Bay.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
It's been a while, but look, hey, what do we got? What has been happening here is my point. It's like, again, don't sit on your hands like you've been doing. Zadarius was out there for a while. He has played literally for every other NFC North team. He knows this division.
Yeah.
Like, what you could have had him. You could have had him. Ben Johnson just came from Detroit when he played with him. That would have been a nice pairing, so you know the coach, he knew the coach. So that's my thing is Ryan Poles has to get on this. I do agree that it starts up front. As we always have said, it starts with the trenches on both sides. So if you want that pressure so that now the cornerbacks can play a little bit more freer, cannot be as exposed, even though Tariq should be doing his job as a cover corner at the least. I think that, yes, you need to bring in some more names, some more bodies. Hopefully, I don't know when Austin Booker potentially can come back. Maybe that'll be a difference maker because he had a really good offseason and preseason. You know, we'll see.
Mugs lose their mind over Austin Booker, and I'm like, no, we remember Austin Booker doing this in preseason last year, and then he got in games and didn't make any of an impact. More
faith in your guy. That was your guy.
I liked Austin Booker. He didn't have an impact. I still like Austin Booker.
All right.
But it's also very difficult to put a guy who's probably a pure pass rusher out there on the field when you're down 52-21.
No, yeah, very true.
I mean, there's not a lot of pure pass rushing downs that the Bears have been in here in the first 2 weeks. So we'll see what ends up happening. I think that, you know, listen, even if you want to get into a situation where best case scenario, you make a trade midway through the season because you want to move on from some of these guys. You got to know that you don't have holes at that position. And right now it feels like you got a lot of holes at that position. Brother George said Austin Booker is the savior now, JC. Oh, we're going to die. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. As always, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Follow us on everything at the Windy City Breeze. We appreciate y'all for showing love. Or Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC, is your boy, Pat the Designer. Back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bet down. One love.
Chicago sports.
We got Dallas tomorrow. We got not tomorrow. We got Dallas on
Sunday.
Sunday.
Afternoon game.
It ain't good. It ain't good. 325 game. America's game of the week. We get Brady.
Boy.
That's gonna be terrible.
Oh, we getting Tom.
We get Tom. Tom sucks. Tom's a bad broadcaster.
I didn't see that coming.
Tom's a bad broadcaster. I was like, he's going to get better. He did not.
I haven't actually really tuned into a lot of his broadcasts, so I don't know. I'll take your word for that.
It's bad.
That's hilarious. Well, he's already the GOAT of something, so I guess he gets a pass.
Bye. Bye.